Hey everybody, welcome to Careers People Growth, the #1 channel to help businesses grow with the right people. Today we're talking about a very special topic. Also could be a little bit of a controversial topic, and a topic that not a lot of people in North America know about, and they get scared when they hear the words virtual assistant. Now, I want to just debunk the fears of all virtual assistants by sharing a story, my specific story. When I was 27 years old and I started this company, I had one employee local, and then we needed to grow and we needed to get 2 more full-time employees. But at the time, I couldn't afford to have 2 $50,000 salaries. And I discovered the world of virtual assistants. And I want to introduce you to my virtual assistants. Guys, this is Anna from the Philippines. One of the most wonderful human beings I've ever met. And as a matter of fact, the longest standing employee in my company till today is Anna from the Philippines, along with RG, also from the Philippines. Absolutely fantastic. These 2 girls were employed in my first year in business, and they worked with us 40 hours a week. They were full-time employees to us, and they helped me grow and start my business, because the reality is a virtual assistant here, for us, the cost is a fraction of a person's salary. It costs me $24,000 a year to have both of them full time. That is not even half of a $50,000 salary for one full-time person, on top of all the other expenses that go into a person that is over here. So by having 2 full-time employees was absolutely fantastic and critical for me to grow my business. And going forward, they've been with us. As our business has grown and gotten to new milestones, they have been critical to our support. They handle all the phone calls with our clients. They handle all the scheduling. They handle anything that we need as far as the recruitment process, because I own a recruitment business. From a digital perspective, they have been nothing but absolutely helpful in all aspects, and they're absolutely fantastic. So that is my personal story. So for you to be able to say, hey, there's someone here in North America that's real and true and started a business 4 years ago and got virtual assistants and has a great success story with it. So when is the right time to consider having a virtual assistant? Is when you have a ton of tasks that are done on a computer, and let's go Colombia. All right. The biggest mistakes business owners you when considering this. Now, how do you actually find a virtual assistant? Because I've shared with you a lot of good stories with myself and how it's helped me financially, and how, at the end of the day, there's so much talent that's out there that could help you grow your business. How do you actually find someone? That's the tricky part. That is where I do want to plug ourselves in. Having a trusted organization to reach out and do interviews and advertise in that city or in that country that's offshore is very important. You don't want to use virtual assistant agencies. I don't recommend that. You're going to see a lot of agencies that really push virtual assistants and they bill you by the hour. You don't want that, because their style is, let's just get a bunch of random people across the world and they just throw people at you, and they're not actually focusing on building your team with employees. Okay? You want to look at getting a virtual assistant long-term, not short-term. You want to look at employing somebody. Okay? And don't confuse employing as in actually putting them on the books as an employee. Technically, they will be contractors to you, and you pay them through platforms that I'll get into later. But the important thing that I want you to know is that you want to think long-term. You're adding a team member. So you don't want to use a virtual assistant agency, okay? You want to use a company like us, a recruitment agency that actually has a virtual assistant model, where what we do is we actually, because we have Anna and RG in the Philippines, so I tap into the market with physical, real people that have been part of my team for 3 years. We advertise there just like we advertise here, putting up a job posting and people apply. Now you're going to get a wave of applicants, over 200 applicants. The next step is actually qualifying them. So there's pre-screening interviews that I host. Now, if you're doing this all on your own, you're going to get 200 applicants and you have to have a pre-screening interview. And these pre-screening interviews are purely on qualifications, seeing if they are capable of doing the task. The next level of interviews is personality and language. Because of the nature of being in a different country, a very important thing is communication. So a second interview is done virtually over video, seeing how they present themselves, seeing camera quality, seeing audio quality with them, seeing if we are able to communicate and we understand each other and are able to have a fluent dialect. That is very, very important. Having that personality test essentially is happening in second round. And then the third round is the final interview with the person that is the hiring manager. So with that said, how do we help? We do the advertising, the pre-screening, and the initial interview. And then you would be the final interview where you're meeting someone who has great English and has the experience that you are looking for. So with that said, whether you use us or not, those are the steps you are going to have to take in order to find yourself a new employee that just so happens to be virtual and outside of the country. That is the mindset I want to give you. Now, finally, how do you pay these people? How are these people structured? Let's dive into that. I use Western Union. I find it convenient because each employee is $1,000 a month for me, or it's about $500 every 2 weeks. I like putting it on my credit card because now I'm just racking up a bunch of points. So I love it doing it in that aspect, and it goes into their e-wallets right away. Literally, when I just process the credit card payment, it gets right into their pocket. Immediately, everybody's paid. And for me, it is a write-off, not as an employee, but it is a write-off as I put them under a contractor. And it's a write-off towards my business. Absolutely fantastic way of doing it. They are not employees that are within your city, so you don't have to abide by any employment laws or anything like that, or pay into pensions or anything like that at all. Simply just run the card, they're getting the cash, you're writing it off as a contractor expense, and you are done. And I would recommend Western Union unless you have any other platforms to pay them, but I like Western Union. I find it super fast, effective, convenient, and inexpensive. So with that said, now you know how to find virtual assistants, and you know how to pay them, and you know also how to train them. And I would really encourage you to just really look into this. And if you do have any questions at all, please leave a comment below with your questions. Please shoot me a message directly with your questions. I'd love to dive into this topic a little bit more, maybe address this specifically for you and your business. And if you are ready to find that next virtual assistant for you, please reach out and we will give you guys a demo and a quote of exactly how we work. It'll be very beneficial for you, and it'll save you in the long run. So last thing I want to do is testimonials to virtual assistants. I'm going to give you our latest and greatest testimonial. As a matter of fact, we worked with an accounting company a month ago, and we found them a bookkeeper virtual assistant in the Philippines. After a week of working with this person, I asked our client, I said, what would you have paid for someone with this exact talent locally to you? How much is that person worth? She said, if I were to hire someone locally to me, it would have cost me $85,000 annually to have this type of talent in my business. And today I have her for $12,000 a year. So it was an absolute shock. We saved her. How much of it? What's 85,000 minus 12? This is where I do quick math in my head. That is $63,000 we saved her. And at the end of the day, it allows her as a small business to grow her bookkeeping firm. So with that said, if you want an experience that's just like that, all you gotta do is just shoot me a DM, shoot me a comment, reach out to us. We're pretty easy to find, and we'll be happy to help you out. Guys, have a very blessed day. Careers, people, growth, baby. Go build your business the way you should, grow and succeed and be happy.